What up, what up, what up, what up?
What's going on, world? It's your boy Varski and the one and only
Monze.
in
And
full
you know
effect.
this.
Woo! Because we are back in
full
the
effect.
building. And you know it is. If you're here and I'm here, then you know it must be
Varski and Monze.
Yep, powering up in full effect.
It's the truest moments of the game. Sometimes you got to understand where you are. And one of the hardest things to do in the world is understand where you are when no one else does.
Yeah, like I think that's one of the I think there's the two trickiest things is relationships.
Yes.
And knowing who yourself is, knowing who you are. You know, getting to know yourself. Yourself. Two trickiest things.
That's one of the biggest things. Sometimes you go looking for yourself, you don't even know where the hell you are.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I've been searching for myself for at least 5 years now. I can't figure it out. When you find out who you are, tell me if I'm there too, because I'm still looking for me.
It's a lifelong process, and some people live a whole lifetime and still don't even know who they are. So,
man, it's crazy. I think one thing we can all agree on right now: the world is in full attention of what's going on in FIFA.
Yes, it's FIFA World Cup right now.
FIFA World still going on. I think we talked about it last week. All right, we touched on it, and I think this week we saw some great wins and great losses.
Mm-hmm.
We saw a win, right? A win, even though it's a moral victory, even though they said there aren't any, but with Cabo Verde versus Argentina.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Cabo Verde because, like, man, they came a long way for such a small island, small population.
Man, first time in the World Cup. I think we've seen a lot of firsts, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Canada was
Canada
the first time.
There, right? I think Paraguay was there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But the Cabo Verde, that was, woo, them boys. Right? You talking about, like, the whole time in the World Cup, I don't think they won a game in the World Cup. I think every game they had was tied.
It was a draw, yeah.
Yeah, every game was a draw, and it advanced them. Then they go up against Argentina, and it looked like the same result was getting ready to happen again.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I think it was like a last-minute corner kick off the wrong guy, like a header off of one of their players into the net. It was just like last minute.
Man, I tell you like this. From the way that Cabo Verde was playing, if they started the game playing like that, I think they would have won.
Yeah.
Right? That was man, because they became monsters. Like every time Argentina put a goal in, them boys came right back and did the same exact thing.
And like the powerhouse teams, like you got the Brazils, you got the Frances, you got the Spain, you got the Portugal. Shout out to Brazil. You know, that was a fan favorite that's not necessarily going to the finals. So I got to shout out. Brazil.
A fan favorite. The fan favorite, even though they don't win, the fan favorites are. It still hurts when you see them. Jeez, like them.
I know.
All right.
Legendary team, legendary country when it comes to football. So it's like it hurts. It hurts to see Brazil go out like that.
I feel like Brazil is a place that when you wake up, you already know how to dribble the ball.
Right? Yeah,
once you're born,
it's in your DNA. Yeah.
As soon as you come out, boop 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 boop. Right, like you dribble the ball like doom da da doom da doom da. It's just.
But shout out to Brazil. Like I watched that game against Norway, and they had a lot of opportunities to capitalize on. It just didn't go their way. Brazil had so many chances to put Norway in the ground, and they just didn't capitalize. And I felt that same way about Canada. Canada's a new team to the World Cup experience, but when they were playing Morocco, they had a lot of chances. They had the possession of the ball, and they had the ball in the right zone more than the opponent, but they just didn't capitalize, right? So it's one of those things.
And then now you have and then Mexico lost.
Yeah, I seen that Mexico versus England,
and they were the only undefeated team.
Yeah, and I think it's since 1986 England had been in that position.
Man.
And to play in Mexico, in that environment, you
Yes.
know, and to still get them, whew,
And that's the home team. Wow, that's the crazy part.
I know, I
That's the
know.
crazy
So
part. So, it's this whole World Cup is full of surprises right now.
yes,
This whole
yes,
World Cup is
yes.
full of surprises right now, man. I was watching when I was watching the France and Argentina game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything came down the France and Paraguay. Everything
Mm-hmm.
came down to that one kick, right? But I watched the fouls that were competed ag com com co that were committed against the French players,
Yeah.
right? And I'm looking at it and I'm like, "Oh, this is very." But I watched my guy, what's the guy, Mbappe,
Yeah, Mbappe, he's like
right?
he's the king of France.
Right? And
He's the best player on their team.
I was laughing because every time something would happen, he would just sit there like this, "Mhm. No, it's okay. It's okay, you're good. You're good." Right? They would go and, like, wanna shake his hand, he'll walk over past them, "Yes." I look at
Yeah.
it, right? And then somebody was like, well, I think the goalie from from Paraguay was like, I tried to shake his hand, so this and that. He's like, I'm not shaking your hand. You all tried to kill me out there.
Yeah, 100%. It's
You know?
like one thing about football, man, it's a highly entertaining sport because
Oh my gosh.
the skill level, the endurance level, and you can't forget the acting skills.
Oh
Like
man.
the acting skills for some of these football players, it's award winning, Oscar winning.
They
It's
thought
crazy.
you think some of the NBA players flop. My gosh, man.
This is the
These
king
guys,
of flopping.
oh my God, these guys here. I'm like, I'm like, oh, how do you get through to anybody? Let me just walk and just fall on the floor real quick. Oh my God, what happened?
Yeah. And then the trippy thing is you watch the replay, and then on the replay, it's like it didn't even touch the guy. It wasn't even close to
No,
the guy, or it might have
no,
touched his shirt, just barely touched
man.
his shirt. But then they're crying,
He's like, "Oh,
living eye
it's a foul.
water. Like
Foul. It's a
they're
foul."
crying, living eye water. Like,
Like
come on, guys, you're a big man. You're a
like,
big
"Yo,
man, dog.
that's
Anyhow,
hilarious." Like, "Yo." But I'll be real with you, man. All these years, right, and I played sports in high school. I wrestled, I played basketball in middle school a little bit, right? High school, I played football,
mhm,
right? Like, not soccer, but football, right? So,
yeah,
you know what? You're not
American
really
football, yeah.
yeah, it's not it doesn't click in certain kind of ways, but then you look at it, right? I'm watching the game, and I felt like I was so captivated by the strategy, right? It felt like
Yeah,
one big I was like, "Yo, I've never seen the game like this before."
uh-huh.
And I
World Cup soccer, I think it's a mix between chess, battleship, and drama, acting.
yeah, yeah.
It's this fine mix.
There's definitely you look at it and I was like, "Yo, this is phenomenal." Like, I'm
Uh-huh.
watching it, I'm just like, "Yo, hold on a second. No, no, no. I understand they're not going full speed right now. I know what they're doing, right? They're
Mhm.
filling each other out. This is a boxing match. This is the first 3 rounds of a
Mhm.
boxing match. They're just
Exactly.
right, okay. What's going on? Boom. Okay, somebody hit a haymaker real quick. All right.
Mhm.
Okay. They weren't expecting that one.
Mhm.
Oh, they want to get that lick back. Okay, let's go. Right? And then all of a sudden you see it comes down to oh, these guys are going for a slugfest right now. Okay, here they
Mhm.
go. Right? You know?
And what everybody knows is like you never want to go too close to the other team's goalie, because that's a no-go zone. You go close to the opposing team's goalie, you're gonna get like an instant penalty shot or a yellow or red card. Like, just stay away from the other person's
I
goalie.
didn't rea I didn't realize that, like, I was watching, what's my guy's name from Brazil? Every time he got close and
Who
he scored.
Neymar?
No, no, man, the young kid.
Who's the young kid on? I don't recall his name right
But
now.
every
I know
time he
Neymar
scored,
is the guy over there.
yeah, but every time he scored, he was offsides.
Mm.
And I was like and he scored last game, I think he was offsides, right? And then he scored, against I think he scored against, Haiti, and he was offsides,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, "Ah,"
So
you
all
know,
those goals didn't count. Yeah.
no. Alright, but if that would've counted, right? They
That'd be
would have been up.
huge.
Yeah, they'd be up what? They would have had that one if my man didn't miss the penalty kick,
Mhm.
right? They'd have been up 2, right? 2-0, and then Neymar got that final kick at the end. That'd have been 3.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
a hard game to watch.
Yeah,
But you know
man.
what? At the end of the day, Norway, the Viking guys, the blonde guy with the ponytail, I don't even recall his name right now.
Who you talking about?
But
Holland?
Holland.
Yeah.
Homeboy came with the killer header and he got 2 goals. It was crazy.
Man
So,
didn't touch the ball the whole game.
I know. And it just went in off no, he got 1 goal and 1 off his head.
Yeah.
So I was just like, man, just strategic playing.
You know? And you just look at him, I'm just like, man, you know what? I realize that, just the way that the game is played,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
an art. It's definitely an
it's an
art.
art. I tell you like this, all right? I watch it. I will definitely be there in 4 more years,
Hmm.
right? To see it again,
And
right?
it's not over till it's over, people. Like
That's
we're
it,
getting close to
man.
the final 8, final 4 teams, and it's all powerhouse teams. So let's see
And
who does it.
you got the who was it? You got the US.
Hmm.
The US was given a grace card the other day. Right? I don't know if you saw it.
I didn't see it. Know what
Right.
happened.
What's my guy's name? I f forgot 'cause forgive me, folks, I'm still learning everything and learning everybody's name, right?
I
Um,
know US is up against Belgium.
yes, today.
Yeah, or
Well, hold on,
tomorrow.
today, Monday.
Today.
Yeah,
Is yes, it's tonight. You're right.
right, yep.
Is the US and Belgium, and then we'll see what happens. And also did another powerhouse game today, which is Portugal and Spain,
Rain.
which is crazy game.
That's gonna be
We're,
fire,
that it's happening right now as we're recording. So
you know? The, not to date ourselves.
ah,
You
it's
know,
all good.
but we can only do to hear things, and we can do hear things right here,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
What is the guy? Hold on a second. U.S. FIFA team.
Yeah, you were saying the US got a pass.
Yeah. What's my man's name? I'll tell you right now. Kind of looks like Vinicius Jr. Following Balogun.
Balogun.
Yeah.
US has always had a good soccer team, football team. They've always been I don't know what they're ranked right now, but they've been in like a top 10.
Here's the thing about my guy. He got a red card the other game,
Mhm.
which means you're suspended for the next game.
Yeah, you're out the next game. It's like a technical foul, like if it's
Yeah.
basketball.
Yeah, they had the red card reversed yesterday.
Oh, they had it reversed.
Yes.
So they reviewed it.
They said that has never happened in FIFA history.
So why did why was the grace granted? That's crazy.
I don't know.
Heavy politics.
But shortly after, Donald Trump said, "I appreciate the FIFA organization for doing the right thing."
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
no. You could have hit the Kanye West meme on that one and just
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be a big event without controversy.
without
So
controversy. There has to be controversy, man.
you need some
Right.
controversy.
And people are upset. Come on, the host team got a really big favor. It's the host team.
That's crazy.
It's
That's
no different than what they
crazy.
said about France one year.
Mm.
There's got to be something. You know,
Anyhow, people out there, we'll see who advances to the semifinal,
yeah.
and who actually plays in the World Cup is coming up pretty soon. But
My question: you ever been to one of those games?
a World Cup game?
Yeah.
No, no.
man.
That's maybe one day, but that's a bit out of my price range.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge, huge like, I saw people talking about $6,000 for one
Yeah,
seat.
and these aren't good seats. Like
No.
6 Gs, 10 Gs, that's
No.
not good seats.
Like,
That's
my
like
question
nosebleed.
my
But
question is a lot of times is like, who are you marketing that to? Because the average dude is not making that kind of money.
no, well, people travel from all across the world to go to these games,
Of
and then
course, man.
I heard there was a lot of incentives. Like I know Qatar, they were actually giving citizens free flights and hotels and free tickets to go to fly to America or any or Canadian or Mexican city to watch any Qatar game. So
That's
like
dope.
certain countries had different incentives for their citizens,
Right.
but it's definitely not a cheap endeavor. And I
No.
do know a ton of people that went, and how they got in is you had to enter a lottery, and then
Right.
if kind of like Taylor Swift tickets, you enter a lottery. If it comes up, now you got a chance to purchase tickets.
Right.
And tickets were anywhere from like $700-800 US to up to 10 grand, maybe even more, depending how good the seats were, right? So
I remember I was at work, I was talking to somebody the other day, and she came in, I guess, her and her husband had separated, but she came in,
mm,
she was buying a phone for her son, right? And she kept on saying, she's like, "I kinda wish that I was living his life right now." I said, "Who, your
yeah,
son?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because, um, his dad," when you get referred to as his dad, that means it's just like,
yeah, yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
His dad his
Yeah,
dad got tickets to the World Cup game, right? And, you know, he's like, "We got to see Spain, over here. Then we flew over here. We watched them play against this person. Then we flew over here." And I'm looking at him like, he's like, "Yeah, I'm headed to California to go watch them play against Portugal."
wow,
I'm like, "Man," right?
that's huge.
And I'm looking at him like, "You're not going?" "Nah, nah, just him." I was like, "Eh,
Wow,
eh." They said his dad entered a raffle and won the
hmm
raffle,
and got
right?
all those
And got
tickets.
all the tickets, right? I was like,
That's that's wow. Words
because
can't explain that one.
nah, man, nah, because you know what? I tell you like this, man, and sometimes you want to be a part of that situation, but even when it
Hmm
comes down to it, man, it's like the average dude is not making the kind of money that takes to get
No,
into that,
no,
right?
no,
You know,
no,
regardless of what's
not at
going on,
all.
you know?
I've been to some crazy sporting events. Like I've been to the Stanley Cup final when Vancouver was in the final in 2010 or 2011.
Right.
And that was one game. And then I also been to the World Series. The Toronto Blue Jays was in the World Series
I remember you told me about you going to that.
last fall, and that was a dream come true.
You have the ticket right
Like
behind you.
yeah, that's a ticket there. I saved my money, and I was just like, if it happens this season, I'm going, and it happened. So I
Right.
did that, and then in 2023 in Seattle, it was the MLB All Star Game, and I went to the Home Run Derby, and that was another lifelong dream. So I've been to the Home Run Derby, I've been to the NHL Stanley Cup Finals in Vancouver, and I've been to the Game One of the World Series in Toronto. So
Right.
I would love to go to a World Cup game, but it just wasn't. I'd love to go to a Canadian World Cup game or a Jamaican World Cup game. That would be
And you know
super
what?
cool.
If we can get to a Jamaican World Cup game, that'd be kinda dope. They have to make it to the
Yeah.
World Cup first. Right?
Yes. Yes. They did.
You
They
know?
didn't make it. They didn't make it this 2026, but
No.
hopefully they're there for 2030. But
And
I love to see that.
but the jerseys were fire though.
Yeah.
The
Well,
jerseys
Jamaica
were
always
fire.
has dope. Their fashion. Jamaica's a swaggy place. It's a
Of course,
fashion.
man. Of
Fashion.
course. People might get mad at that though if they see the shorts.
I'm not gonna back down with that one. And whether you agree with us or not, Jamaican fashion and how Jamaicans use fashion from anywhere, whether it's fashion from France, whether it's fashion from America, whether it's fashion from Italy, whether it's fashion from Jamaica, it created in Jamaica. Jamaicans know how to style and fashion, and they know how to pop style.
Well,
And
people take offense to it, but what they got to realize is people take offense
Woo!
to a lot of the things that even some of the things that we say, you know, and that's okay because what you got to
Oh
realize is that
man.
when you compare yourself to the rest of the world, you got to recognize that Jamaica is the rest of the world too, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
they're not involved with a lot of the things that you see over here. Well, now they are, you know, when it comes to certain things, right? But like it's been wild for years, man. But I sticking to that point, eventually I would love to get to go to a World Cup. I was even talking to my dad about it one day.
Yes.
He's like, I would love to go one day. And I'm like, you know how sometimes you just really want like to give those tickets.
Yeah.
Right? So you start putting it together like, how old would he be if I got this together right now?
Yeah.
You would need 4 years to take it and run it, right? And build whatever you have to do. Because honestly, again, I realize, all right, these are things that the average person they don't
No,
get to
this is
experience.
not an average thing. And then I
Right.
do remember like in 2020, 2024,
Right.
you could have entered the lottery to get tickets for
Right.
2026. So I like if Jamaica does make it, you kind of know if your team's going to make it 2 years prior. So if they do make it, you kind of know in advance, and then you can enter the lottery 2 years before the World Cup and purchase it or whatever the situation is.
I think Jamaica got knocked out in March, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and and I know um Canada beat Jamaica to solidify their spot 2 years
Right.
ago. They had a game like in Edmonton in the middle of the snow. It was
Right.
it was like a snow covered football field, like
Sheesh.
soccer field, and the Jamaicans were totally out of their element, and like
Well, yeah,
the Canadians were in their element. So it was a soccer game in the snow, dog. It was
you had
blizzard like
you had the reggae boys. You
crazy.
needed the bobsled team.
It was wild. I remember watching that game a couple years ago, and man, the Canadians were sliding on the snow, and and it's so funny. Like as a Canadian kid watching that,
Yeah.
Canadians really do that. They play soccer in the snow. So it's like
Jeez.
to see that on a professional level, it was sick.
Jeez, man. Jeez, man. You look at it and it's just like, but those are the things sometimes you really want to, you gotta get your mindset different on that one, right? I
Hmm.
think I think there's a disparity when people see that, especially if you're looking at social media, right?
Hmm.
If you find yourself comparing yourself, like you see people like you watch a kid like Speed, right?
Yeah, I show
Speed,
speed. I love that kid. He's
right? But you realize that monetarily, he's in a different area and he's doing different things, right?
hmm
A lot of these, like I saw a video one time. You had Drake at the top of over there watching the World Cup game, right? And
hmm
he's up in the stand. You saw Jay-Z in the booth,
in the
you know.
suites, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
he's in the booth
Jay-Z
with
was on the sideline for the Brazil games. I think he sponsors some of those Brazil players like Rock Nation.
he was up in the booth,
He was
right?
up, but no, but wasn't he at the Brazil game the
Yeah,
other
he was
day?
there talking to Neymar.
Yeah, but he was on the pitch.
Yeah,
Him and Khaled, they were like on the pitch.
and then they were up in the seats, like
Yeah,
in the box,
yeah,
right? Because you could
yeah.
see them next to the other Brazilian, the former Brazilian players.
Nice,
Right, then you
nice.
see,
Nah,
Jalen Brunson up there,
hmm I
right?
see Jalen Brunson. Yeah,
But how do you get there on the average salary? That's the question that everyone's at would like to like, how do you live that dream? Like, do you start saving from now and hope that it's somewhere that you can get to afford to get to?
I think that's what you got to do because that's how I got to the World Series.
Right,
Like I knew the stats and I knew on paper that the Toronto Blue Jays had a high chance of making the World Series.
right,
So as throughout the year, I had a savings account that I would throw money. It wasn't specifically for the Blue Jays, but if they had made the World Series, that money could be accessed,
right,
and it just happened to do that. I literally bought the ticket for that World Series game the second they won the American League championship. So like soon as that third pitch was thrown out, they won.
gone.
I was like pressing send on my Ticketmaster.
Ah,
It was like that, and even then, it was just like it was an ordeal. But then I got through. So
here's the breakdown right here. I'm looking at this. The 2026 World Cup tickets varied in price. So for the group stages, you're looking at $140 to $1,400 per ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Right. For the knockout stages, you're looking at $1,300 to $1,500, and they can
Mm-hmm.
exceed $3,000. Probably more scalpers get them first.
Yeah,
All right?
exactly.
And then you're looking at the final where you can go anywhere for 4,000 to 10,000 with the resale value of scalpers. They kill it. Right.
I think those
30,000.
numbers are very, very modest because even right now for these games, some of the higher stake games like Portugal and Spain, people are paying big amounts for those games.
You're paying the scalpers.
Yeah.
Right, you're paying the scalpers because they got to realize. I noticed that with the Pokemon market, right? The scalpers ruin everything.
They
right?
do. They
ruin everything, and it's almost to the point where you want to start investing in those things to get like, okay, well, how are you doing this? Oh, you got bots. Okay, well, where are you getting this bot from? Right, let me get me a bot.
They got the software. But speaking of the scalper game, so I after the whole Taylor Swift craze, I guess like 2-3 years ago, her tour was like the biggest world tour ever, and it broke Live Nation and Ticketmaster. Like it shut it down, right? So it actually happened in Canada. The government in Toronto, in Ontario, in Canada, they made it illegal for scalpers to resell tickets. So now in the province, like the state of Ontario in Canada, you can't, there's no more scalping. It's like illegal. It doesn't even exist. Like if this is the ticket price and if you can't make the game and you want to sell that ticket, it has to be for the same exact price. Other places around the world, like scalpers still exist. Like where I live in Vancouver, scalpers could buy the tickets and mark it up. But they just passed that law. The governor or the premier is what they call it of Ontario made that law that there's no more scalping anymore in Toronto, in Ontario.
And see, that's the big thing, because that to me right there, that's a
power up. Yeah,
because
man.
Over here, man, please, right? Like, well, you say even when like I said, you go to the Pokemon realm where you're buying Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
By the time you enter the market, it's already done. Right. It's by the time
soon as it goes for sale. Yeah.
Boom. Right. And they will lock up every single thing. Right. And it's like you got a bot. Like I see it. I even see it sometimes when you order certain things. Right. They have a bot that creates different names and different addresses and everything, and it all goes back to the same place. Right. So when you're looking at that, it ruins the vibe for everybody. Especially,
it does.
Think about it like this. Right. Right. Average man's salary. Right? The average salary of a regular guy. Let me see right now. I'm actually gonna check it.
In the US?
In the US,
I think maybe $60,000, maybe.
Let's go
the average
salary. In the US. Average salary is approximately 65 to 66,000.
Yeah, 60,000, and 60,000 US in Canada is about, I don't know, approximately 85,000.
Right.
Somewhere to that extent.
So you're looking at that. That's the average salary, right?
Average.
Average. Right. And then you're looking at probably about maybe half of that, more than half of that is going to like bills.
Yeah, most of one's income goes to like utility bills, rent, or mortgage. Yeah, taxes, insurance, card note, fuel, food.
And then your mindset is completely off because you're looking at Instagram, right? And you're feeling like, man, something is messing up my life, and I'm not doing anything. So you don't even enjoy the money that you're making anymore.
Yeah. And then that's like they start using credit, right? And
of course.
Try to leverage your credit cards, right?
And that's where the trap comes in, because now you're using lines of credit, right? And you're spending more than you actually have.
Speaking of that, because today's topic, what we were going to delve into on the money and motivation was leveling up money wise, you
Right.
know. And you were saying like when you scroll through social media, you see people living that high life, that flashy life, the cars, the women, the name brands, the luxury lifestyles, the flights, the hotels, the whatever it is, right? The jewelry, the accessories. But really and truly, those material things is not real wealth.
Well, no.
You know, that's not real
No.
wealth. Those
No,
are
man.
just tangible physical
Look,
things.
that is those are experiences
Mhm.
after you acquire real wealth, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of times we spend more money and more time and more mindset trying to focus on paying things out of our pocket. You read Rich Dad Poor Dad like I did, right? And I understand what people say about, oh, this is just a, it's just a regular D class book because it sounds good to call it a D tier book. But let's be real. If you're already big into investing, this book means nothing for you, right? But
Yeah,
if you
it's
just
kind of like a starter.
right, I'm already in kindergarten, I'm already in fifth grade. You try and teach me the ABCs, I already know it. You
Mhm.
know? But if you're coming from a different country, you don't even speak the language, guess what? This is gospel right now, right?
100%.
So when you
And
turn around go
no,
ahead.
what I was saying, like Rich Dad Poor Dad is a starter, but it's the
It's
fundamentals.
the
You know,
fundamentals,
it's the fundamentals.
right? The big thing that I remember from reading Rich Dad Poor Dad was, 1, you don't buy things with your regular money, you buy it with your portfolio.
Mhm.
People don't talk about that part, right?
No.
And
No,
that's what
not at
gets
all.
everybody in trouble because you're trying to spend the money you have instead of I think each day you should be like, okay, I'm going to work and I'm busting my behind at work. This money should go to a vehicle, not a
Mhm.
car, a vehicle,
Mhm.
right? A vehicle that's going to extend that money. Okay, I got to pay for food, I got to pay for lights, I got to pay for bills. Perfect. Let's take the rest of that money, let's put into something like this, something that's going to keep on going interest wise. Like right now, if you have cryptocurrency,
Mhm.
right? If you look at cryptocurrency, if you put just regular money into USDC, right? This is not financial advice, right?
It's
Just
educational
right?
and entertainment purposes
I'm gonna
only.
hit them with the Ken and Grace. Right? This is not financial advice. I just hope you have your upplements on, baby, because this is about to get hot up in the kitchen. No, sorry. Oh, you know, but like even something similar, like even that's gonna offer you 3.7% on just USDC, right?
Yeah, like
Mo-
crypto is a good place to if you have a little bit of money to do some research, find out what is a good cryptocurrency to get involved in, and it
Right.
doesn't hurt. It doesn't
Right.
hurt.
But that's the thing right there. Because if you look at it, right, all right, I want to go to the World Cup in 4 years.
Hmm.
All right. I'm going to take 4 years. Now, think about that. Right. So 4 years is how many weeks away?
So
The
52
52 times
times
four.
4.
Next World Cup is how many weeks?
It's
I'm
like
going to say
208.
208.
208 weeks. And then say you invested $20 a week over 208 weeks. That's a little bit of money.
That's a brick. That's a brick.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go ahead. 2020. It's a 2026. So the next one is 2030.
2030. Yeah. That's a little bit of money. That's a little bit of
200,
change.
203 weeks
Yeah.
away.
203 weeks times say $20 a week.
$20 a week. Right. So let's go. Let's do this. I'm going to say 203 weeks. We're doing a finance show now, y'all.
Well, how to save? How to save for something you want to do, right?
$20 a week? $20 a week.
How much is that?
$200 a week at, let's call it what it is, 3.70 APR. Oh,
And it's so funny. Maybe by 2030, cryptocurrency will be accepted as a regular form of payment
right.
in more places. You know what I'm saying? So you might not even have to exchange it into like regular currency. You might just be able to pay with that actual cryptocurrency. You never know.
Let me do this. $20 a week. Boom. 4 weeks. There we go. Okay. So $20 a week at 3.7 APR for 203 weeks. You are looking at $4,060.
Yeah, so that could get you one dope ass seat or two group stage seats, or or 1.5
That'll get
knockout
you.
seats.
That'll get you one. $4,000 to get you one final seat.
That's pretty good. But you got to enter the lottery, and hopefully you do win the lottery to get the
No,
ticket.
that's not a lottery ticket. That's a regular one.
That's just purchasing it straight up.
That's a purchasing ticket.
Right.
So
that's a good look.
That's a good look.
So
right?
so $20 a week for the next 4 years, no matter what, you could get that seat.
So if you do $100 a week, right?
Yeah, now it's 20. So if you times that by 5.
So if you do that,
if you could afford the $100 a week. Not everybody could afford $100 a week. But so we're lowballing saying most people could afford $20.
I believe that if we do it right, you could afford $100 a week.
If you do it right. Yeah.
If you do it right. If you do it right. Right. So
if you're determined, and that's what a goal, that's a goal that you made for yourself and you set out to do it, hell yeah, you could do it. 100%.
I'm going to ask my friend ChatGPT. Let's do this. Boom. Because you got to realize, like, experiences are priceless.
And they're educational. Traveling experience is the best form of education that you could get.
So ChatGPT says if you invest $100 per week at 3.7% APR, assuming interest compounds weekly and deposits are made at the end of each week, right? You're looking at, you'll have about $28,800 saved.
Wow, that's really good.
That's
north of $25,000, and you could do a lot with that. You get a flight, a hotel, tickets, food.
That's you and the wife,
merchandise,
and your child.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
or it's even better, you can go there, spend a huge amount just on the hotel for the time that you're there. Right, watch it with the people in the city. Right, just have the experience of being there. Right, you can go to Chick-fil-A or McDonald's and buy fries and just throw them out the window at people.
Well,
you know,
I've been seeing people like on local news here in Vancouver, Canada, and a lot of people flew from all around the world for that same experience. And then the reporters is like, how much money are you spending? A lot of people are spending a lot of money, a cool $20,000 per person. So it's like, and if you think about it, it's kind of worth it. Like, you see some of these fan sites, the fan festivals, the different countries, how they parade down the streets, and like, the the different colors of the smoke and the flags and painting your body and with the jerseys, the scarves, the chanting, the songs. It's like
It's
it's
just a different
such an
feeling.
experience. It's just like
Yes, man.
wow.
No, you
It's
know what?
wild.
But you know what I think it is that especially growing up, you kinda your mindset is just to go to work, pay bills.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got to live a little.
You
And
gotta
you know what? Speaking of that, it's like we're saying, have you asked me, have I ever been to a World Cup? I'm like, no, I haven't been to a World Cup, but because it's taking place in one of the host cities, Vancouver,
right,
where I'm from, or where I live. It's like it's kind of cool because they have fan festivals. So at the Pacific National Exhibition, they have a fan festival. I got a chance to check that out. Also at our Science World, we turned our Science World into like a giant FIFA soccer ball, and then they have like an exhibit and a FIFA museum inside of there. So I got to check out a few things, but I
right,
haven't got to see a game.
man. And that to me, that's that once that you get that boundary, man, but just experience alone is like crazy.
It's a vibe, man.
It's a vibe, man.
It's definitely a vibe.
That's a vibe, man. You actually had an experience yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, I got a chance to go to Seattle.
Right,
So I went down to Seattle with a group of friends, and we actually watched the game at one of the fan. They had a 25-foot screen in the middle of Pioneer Square, so I
right,
got to watch the Canada versus Morocco game there, and then I also got to watch like once a year the Toronto Blue Jays do a West Coast run, and
right,
it's like Canadian tradition. If you live in like BC, Alberta, Victoria, Saskatchewan, like if you live in Western Canada, people make that trek. They travel down to Seattle and they
right.
watch that 3 game series of the Blue Jays play the Seattle Mariners, and we didn't come up how we wanted to. They won 1 out of 3 games. The Blue Jays lost the series, but the experience, because it's on 4th of July weekend, which is a crazy weekend in America, and it's just like Canadians take over the whole city and they're watching the game, and it's just like it's a real sportsman, fun, friendly, family, cool event. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll watch it 'cause I remember I gave you calls on FaceTime with you.
Yeah.
You met up with a guy that gave gave you a little something special, right?
Um. Oh no no. So so that was the day before, but actually
Yes.
um, yesterday, so in Vancouver is the farm team for the Toronto Blue Jays, and they're called the Vancouver Canadians. So I usually take my little guy out before those games, and we practice playing baseball, catch, swinging the bat, stuff like that. And then it's FIFA time, so a lot of people playing soccer in the park too, and we're my little guy's play practicing corner kicks and stuff like that. And we're throwing the ball around. And then we're leaving to go into the Vancouver Canadians game, and we seen a skateboard society. And out of nowhere, the owner of the company came up to us and he's like, "Hey, do you want a skateboard?" And I was like, "Sure." So my little guy took the skateboard. He's not really familiar with the skateboard, but it was so monumental because he gave him a professional skateboard. Shout out to that skateboard society. What was the name of them?
Spectrum Skateboard Society.
Spectrum Skateboard Society. Shout out to them for throwing a bone to my little guy, hitting him up with a skateboard, and now he's gonna learn to use the skateboard. So that's dope. Shout out to them, man.
That
But
was
yeah, like
huge. Huge, man.
if anybody ever gets a chance to visit Vancouver, Canada, if you haven't heard of it, they're having FIFA right now for 2026. They had the Olympics in 2010. It's a great city. It's a Pacific Northwest, so you got the ocean, you got the mountains, you got the clean air, you got the fresh water, you got the lifestyle. It's a dope place. If you guys ever want to see somewhere dope, come to Vancouver. You love it.
Man, it's a beautiful place. That is on my bucket list, getting there.
And you'll get here soon.
Of course, man. We have to, because there's things that we have to do.
That's what I'm saying.
There's
And
things we
it's
have to
like
do, man.
as much as I love Florida, because I'm in Florida every spring for spring training and for spring break, you know, and we're always kicking it down there, family time and stuff like that. And as much as I love Florida, like definitely Vancouver, Canada is a definite place y'all got to check out.
It's fire. So the next World Cup, if you up for it, it's going to be Spain, Portugal, and Mexico. And Morocco.
So I'll definitely go to Portugal.
I want to go to Portugal.
I'll definitely go to Portugal because I have a friend of mine. He's a big football guy, and his son plays pro football, and he goes to Portugal like at least once a year.
Right.
And the vibes, and I actually grew up with a lot of Portuguese people in Toronto. So, and actually in Toronto for FIFA, Ronaldo had a game in Toronto, and the fanfare for when the Portuguese team came out was crazy. They took over the city of Toronto.
I wonder what's going to happen when Brazil shows up to Portugal.
I think it's like a this mutual love because they're both Portuguese countries, and they're both football powerhouses. So, you know, I guess it's kind of like when I guess it's like when Canadians go to Seattle for the Blue Jays series. It's just like this great fan, you know, festival. It's just like sports, you know. That's what I would think.
You would think that. I mean, like I said, outside of Portugal, right? I think Brazil. No, not even outside of Portugal. Brazil has the largest population of Portuguese speakers in the world.
Yeah, and the vibes in Portugal, from what I heard, it's just like, you know, it's all like the cuisine. They have like a ton of Michelin star restaurants, the hospitality, the lifestyle, the culture. Like I just heard Portugal's like the place to be. It's a dope place to just chill.
I'm gonna rent a castle.
Well, if you rented the castle, I'm gonna stay in one of the rooms.
Well, you know, we gotta do it. Rent the castle. And then what we'll do is we'll bring the equipment over there.
Yeah, and just run it.
And just run it. You know what I'm saying? You are now tuned to Varski and Monze. Bom dia, tudo bem? We are in Portugal.
it would be so dope if well, Brazil's obviously gonna make every World Cup. It'd be dope if Jamaica made the World Cup, and then
nice.
And then if they had a couple games in Portugal, I'd definitely go to Portugal.
And, you know, I wonder if Jamaica made the World Cup and gets into Portugal, who is Jamaica going to root for?
Probably Brazil.
Most likely.
Yeah, probably Brazil.
They'll root for Jamaica too, right? They'll root for Jamaica too, because they're probably going to be in two different brackets.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Two different groups. Yeah,
exactly. So you'll have the people with, which I saw one of our friends. They had the Paraguay jersey and then half was the Brazilian.
Yeah, the half jersey. Yeah.
So we'll probably have to get like half Brazilian flags and have Jamaican flags and just make it a shirt. Right.
And it's kind of cool. Like in Canada, they really rep Jamaica hard. In Canada,
I believe it. Well, because Jamaica.
The culture's intertwined. Like Canadian culture and Jamaican culture, they lend so much to each other. It's a pretty cool scene.
Cuzzo, people don't realize how much like Jamaican culture is infused in everything, right?
Yes.
From that small little island.
It's almost like Chinese. Like, you know, like every city in the world has a Chinatown.
Of course.
And like in every little city around the world, or every big city, little city, big city, every country around the world, they have a touch of Jamaican culture.
Man, I learned this when I was in Brazil. They have Jamaican restaurants in Brazil.
Seen.
Right. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Like I told you, they have a whole state, right? A whole state, and a whole city is based upon, like, they call it the Jamaica of the Brazil.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
cool.
that's where I
I gotta
was.
come. I gotta come with you guys to Brazil next time you
Yeah,
guys
man.
go down
You
there
gotta
for
honestly,
sure.
it's a different vibe altogether,
Hmm.
right? And let's not get it twisted. Like being here, like what we experience here, right?
In
Our
Florida.
stress is our stress is here in the United States, right?
Hmm.
We may have a little bit of stress here. We may have stress here and everything like that, but our stress is better than those stress that some other places actually experience, right?
Mm.
We experience it at a different level, you
Yeah.
know, and people don't get that or appreciate it, especially if you've never been outside the country, you know,
Yeah. Like to
you know,
anybody out there who hasn't traveled outside of America, man, the world's a beautiful place, man.
world's a
Like
beautiful place. The BS that we deal with here, right, is a lot more acceptable than the BS you'll deal with everywhere else in the world sometimes,
hmm
right? And you got to understand that. Right. But if you know that going forward, you're not going to go over there with a cocky, arrogant attitude. You're going to go over there realizing this is not my home. Let me go ahead and let me just blend in as much as I possibly can.
You know what they call that?
Yeah.
The stress that we experience in North America. What they call that is fourth world problems. Like we have problems, but they're not like
No, it's
detrimental,
first world problems.
serious. Yeah, yeah.
First world
It's
problems.
not. Yeah, it's first world problems. Yeah, I
First world
said fourth
problems.
world.
Yeah.
First world. It's not that serious. It's
Yeah.
like you could get over it.
Like you go some places, it's like, man, I'm so pissed off. Wow, I wasted my gas going here. Some places, some people don't even have cars.
Exactly. They gotta walk. They
Right.
gotta walk, man, for
Man,
miles.
please, man. I'm good, man. I'm good. But that's the big thing for me, man. It's just, you know, how much more can we maximize the life that we're living? Right. Like I said, the average salary right now is just pretty much basic. Right. And even in a basic
Yeah,
realm, it's like you're fighting to get past a lot of things. You're fighting to try to figure things out. And, you know, you you can't look for the get rich quick schemes. You have to figure out what you need to do from right there.
I think you hit it on the head with that one. You can't depend on the get rich quick schemes. It's like as soon as you get it, it's gonna be gone. But
It's
if you
gone.
work for it and you're steadfast, it's gonna last. It's gonna last generational. It's gonna last your lifetime, your kid's lifetime, or it could be passed down. You know. So the get rich quick scheme is not cutting it.
I tell you like this, folks. This is what you're trying to do. Right. Again, start off with $100 a week. Get yourself. There's a lot of research out there that you can do. Right. Put your money into a vehicle. Again, not a car, a vehicle.
Hmm.
All right. You're going to spend the $100 anyways.
It's
Right.
true.
You take the money, put it somewhere, don't touch it. All right. Let it sit for 4 years and you forget the, and trust me, 4 years will go by
Quick.
without you realizing it. Right. Don't believe me? Yesterday I was 36.
Like lightning,
Like
like blink of
gone.
an eye, you know.
Gone, man, gone.
But that,
I still
but
remember
that's
stories from
word.
10 years ago, and I think it was 10. I don't realize it was 10 years ago,
That's word. No, it's true. Like
you know?
time does fly. Um, time flies real quick. So the main thing is to stay focused. You know, put a little bit away for the rainy day, as they say, and just put it in a vehicle like my man Varsky's saying. Like put it in a vehicle that's something that will grow. So as time goes by, you have something accrued, and you can invest it into an experience or to something that you really want to do.
Yeah, no, that's true. When you do say that's true. Absolutely right.
Do remember, hit us up on all of our platforms, like, subscribe, repost, save this video so you could come back and then you could peep the info that we be dropping on y'all. Hit us up on YouTube, watch our YouTube shorts, IG, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, iHeartRadio, Deezer, one of those platforms. If you click the link just above at the top of the screen there on the IG. You can see all of our links. And stay tuned, man. The shop's coming soon. We got some dope stuff coming for y'all. We're just giving you a little pre-advance to what to look out for. But that's what's cracking, man. It's your boy Varsky and Monze.
That's right.
Manzia. Varski.
And we out.
Varski and Monze.
You know what? I was gonna stop it, but I'm gonna let y'all know that we're gonna post the raw version because you want to keep it going. Right. So enjoy. You're gonna hear all the bloopers and everything like that too. So we love y'all. Good night.
Peace.
Varski and Monze.